What is going on, YouTube? So I want to show you guys a little behind the scenes here of just a little January recap of how we added 53 new users to our high-level SaaS and added $6,200 in recurring revenue. So I'm going to jump into the computer, break down all the cost, show you guys, how much money we actually collected, what our expenses were. Look at this. I just picked up one of these new bad boys. Well, one of these and a new mic, so I can now officially become a real vlogger and just pick up the camera and kind of show you more behind the scenes stuff. Before I used to have this, well, I still do, but I had this massive mic tripod in the corner. I'd have to set everything up if I wanted to just give you a quick look at something. And I hated having little clips. So now, hopefully I'll be able to just see something happening on the screens, grab the little tripod right here, fire it up, and report back. But let me show you guys. Gonna take a little bit to get used to the lighting and everything here. But I wanna start with just explaining our offer. There's a lot of different things you can sell, like resell within high level. But for us, what we're looking for is business owners who want to have full control over their own lead flow and cut out the middleman, right? So we want people who want to advertise online, like they know they need to advertise, but they either don't want to hire a high ticket agency, they don't want to hire a lead provider. A lot of them have worked with them in the past and they're like, I'm just throwing away money. Why I want to put, I want to invest in my business, but this just isn't worth it. Because at the end of the day, all these marketing agencies, all they're doing is just running ads on Facebook for you. For your business, right? If you go work with a high ticket agency, for the most part, they're just gonna set you up with a sub account on a high level, build out a new business page or an ad account, build you, ad creatives, and they're just gonna run the ads for you. But they're gonna charge you minimum $1,500 a month, plus all the way up to, thousands and thousands of dollars a month to do this. So our angle here is you don't need to hire agencies. You don't need to hire anybody to do that. We're going to give you the software and all the tools and pre-built out ad creatives where it's just you can just do everything that they're doing in only right now our price is $199 a month, which is everything. We have pre-built out ad creatives, pre-built out funnels, automations, everything that the high ticket agencies have, just giving it to them, letting them take full control so that they can kind of cut out that middleman there. So that's kind of our angle and our offer. Generate your own exclusive leads at wholesale cost. Don't pay a high ticket marketing agency, no retainers, no marked up leads, nothing like that. Everything is wholesale cost and exclusive to you. This is how you go in and you can do it yourself, right? Let me show you guys a look at because we just launched 3 new ads last night. We've been having trouble we tried to, scale very aggressively a couple weeks ago. We were spending $300 a day. So it worked really well. And then for a couple days, we were all right, let's just double the budget. Let's turn this thing up. Let's try to double the amount of revenue coming in every single week. And it just absolutely I don't know what happened. We literally we doubled our budget and our appointment cost tripled. Over the weekend, we made we got 10 or 15 new ad creatives, wrote all new copy, kind of positioned the offer a little bit differently here. So far today, we've got $17, $18 appointments. We just turned this one on. So this is kind of the range we need to be in, for this price point at $199 a month. We kind of have to be, because we're running a webinar once a week. So we need to be at $15 to $22, $23. Anything above that, at a high daily spend, you can get caught pretty quick. So we have it set right now. We're testing this new angle with a couple new ad creatives. So we'll have 40. Yeah, we'll probably have close to 100 people registered for this week's webinar. I'll probably be vlogging that to show you guys kind of behind the scenes what that looks like. But yeah, that's what we're doing with the ads right now. We got 4 or 5 actually in this new campaign. This is usually what happens. One. This is actually a new ad, so this is good. One ad is just producing all of the appointments here. We've got a onboarding call here in about 15 minutes. Then we have a group coaching call later. So far for this week's webinar, we've got around 38 people registered right now. Here's a look kind of at what the calendar looks like. So nothing crazy, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we do onboardings, group coaching calls. So we kind of just stack it all there. The way that we're bringing on clients right now is through a weekly webinar. So we're running paid ads to a webinar. And then, even at some weeks, I think our top week, we brought on 20 people Yeah, 20 people. So I'll show you kind of how we like onboarded them, how we could handle that type of volume at such like a low price. Because with that, we're not doing one-to-one onboarding with everybody. We're doing group style, and we also have a full academy. It's a private school group that we bring everybody into. So we got a bunch of course videos and modules kind of showing everyone how they can get everything integrated. So ideally, they kind of go through, they get everything done on their own. Like we have, I think it's probably 15 videos at this point. We have a group onboarding 3 times a week. So they sign up for one of those. We kind of just go in. It's like, hey, everybody in the software, everybody in the school group, good. You guys go through all the videos. Okay, check. If there's any other questions, we kind of answer them right then and there. And we also go in and kind of just give like a high level overview of all of the features. So we're like, hey, this is your custom booking page. These are the automations that are going to go out once leads come in. This is where you can find your leads, right? Like just more kind of like just showing them around the platform, getting into some strategy on that onboarding call. But since it's done group style, we can handle a good amount of people every week. So let me show you guys kind of what everything looks like here. Break it down kind of by webinar. I got it right here on the scoreboard for you. So you can, we'll jump into that. But let's look Jan 1. So we had 4 webinars. I'll show you like weekly kind of how much we spent on each one. But if we just look at like Jan 1 to Jan 31, okay, we spent $7,700. We collected, so if we look in the past month, you guys will see these like spikes. Those are the weekly webinars that we have. We collected $7,600. So some of that, like beforehand, our first webinar that we had was on the 9th. So if we look, this is kind of all of our spend for the webinar. So we did $200 a week here for the first 2 weeks. Then we bumped it up to $300 a day. So on that first webinar, this was kind of like our test phase for this new offer and new way that we were selling it through a webinar. So we were doing $99 was like our beta test. That was kind of just to get everything going. So we did that for the first 3 weeks. Since then, we bumped the price. Okay, so for this January 9 webinar, that would have been, let's see, it would have been Thursday to 2 to 8. So we spent $13.92, just to show you guys that I'm just not like making numbers up here. I guess you could take my word for it, but $1,400 here. We collected $1,700. So we were up $300 on that week. So we closed 17, had a 35% close rate on the week. So this is not like on the webinar, but like that whole 7-day period from on the webinar, follow-ups, everything there. By the end of the month, this is what our numbers looked like. So our expenses, about $1,000 a month for like the software. Ad spend, we spent $6,900. So when I showed you 77, that the last week or the last like week and a half, that was for a February webinar that we had. I'll give you guys an update there, but I want to kind of do a month by month. So our net was minus $1,700. We added $6,200 in recurring revenue. So, when you're scaling like this, when you're like running paid ads to a webinar, or even one-to-one sales calls, you're sacrificing that first month margin to bring on that user base, right? So next month, even if we have, I think our churn is like 10% right now. So that's when, month 1, you go into the red, hopefully just a little bit, like 1,700, we'll take that, like, ad spend plus expenses included. That's kind of how it looked. But I want to show you guys, let me show you like a little look at like the school group that we have. So we show how to activate the account, how to build a personal profile, integrate Facebook and Google, creating a Facebook page, confirming the ad account, everything like that. Okay, how to register a phone number. Then we get into like the actual lead gen, like how to launch campaigns, how to make video ads, advertising strategy, everything like that. So the flow here, touch point number 1. So they obviously see our ad, they register for the webinar. Once we go in and we have the webinar, so all of those people that close on the webinar, the next step, we get them booked in for their onboarding call just to make sure that like nothing, nobody falls through the cracks and nobody like doesn't get their logins, just to have something on the board where we know we can connect with them. So that's what we have. We push them to the onboarding, then we push them to school. On the webinar, we like talk about what school is, and we, this is part of the pitch. It's like, hey, it's a done together program. You guys are going to learn how to launch your own ads. You're going to learn how to be your own marketer. So the academy is like a pretty it's nice for us because it helps us like get everybody onboarded, but it's also like an additional selling point because we have all these live trainings in here that they can go in and watch like as soon as they sign up. They don't need to wait for an onboarding call to start getting everything ready and to start, learning about the online marketing space. They can go in and they can do it all kind of on their own time. A lot of the time, people won't go through the academy before their onboarding call is what it is. But the idea is to have everyone go all the way through, book their onboarding call, clean up any type of loose ends, any questions they have there. Boom, then they're good to go. From that point on, if they want to book a coaching call, if they want to speak with us, they can, throw their questions in the school group. They can book a coaching call, but it's a pretty smooth process. But the main issues we've been having now, like I said, were when we tried to scale it up for like a couple days, keeping the ads consistent. That's just, part of the game. That's always going to be a thing. So having the ads consistent. Payment processing has been another issue. We went back to Stripe. We had to set up a new LLC, get a new Stripe account, and hopefully, Stripe is just, they're unpredictable. Like you can have money held up in a reserve forever. They can shut you down. They can pause your payouts because they underwrite your business after they approve you. Like it's like an instant approval. So anybody can set up a Stripe and start processing cash. But with us, this was, I think like the end of last year, we had one. We started because we know these problems like happen. So we started using another processor. Then we were like, all right, whatever, let's just try Stripe. Either way, we'll just have it. When we're doing these weekly webinars, we're getting no sales, maybe like 1 or 2 follow-ups, right? But like no sales like for the majority of the week. And then Thursday, we see a massive spike. So that like triggered something within Stripe. They paused all the payments, deactivated the account, whatever. Support was when we first started out, because we were doing like one-to-one support because it was more efficient. It was easier to like, if somebody had a problem, it was easier to solve it on a one-to-one support call, but that's just not sustainable at scale. Like we can't do, at this price point, you literally cannot do one-to-one calls. So it just doesn't make any sense. So, now we do group coaching and we don't have the user base yet. Like you could probably, around like 10% of your active user base are going to book like coaching calls fairly consistently is what we've seen. So we can handle like a couple hundred users, I think, with what we have now. And then we'll add like different, we'll get like an Extendly, like a chat widget that can handle more like tech related stuff. But yeah, that's kind of like a little look at what's going on and how we're like running this and how we were able to bring on that many users. Last month, just like this style video, let me know down in the comments, like the video for me. Appreciate it if you guys are still sticking around here. We're going to bring back, there's a chance I do daily vlogs, right? The problem with that is that like most of the days look fairly similar. So I'd have to find, it'd be a little bit of a challenge to spice up every day. But I mean, that's just the reality of what it is, right? So let me know if you guys want to see daily vlogs. But yeah, if you guys, we also do have a free group on School for anyone looking to get started, or if you're currently running a SaaS and you just want to connect with us and kind of see what we're doing. I'll leave that in the description below. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.